Hello, everyone. Welcome into another day of post-show headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with my man John Kincade. You were complimented on your hair today, saying it looked more gray, or what?
My gray hair is very shiny.
It's very shiny
because I got Joe Z, one of our salespeople who
also has shiny gray hair.
But his wasn't shiny. His was sort of getting yellow. I switched him on to the purple shampoo, and he looks damn good now. Joe Z looks hot. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, today is haircut day for me, so I can finally.
Oh, that's going to be good.
So I can finally get rid of this lettuce. All right, post-show headlines, 5 questions or topics, 2 minutes each, and then we get the hell out of here. You're going to go first and second because you have 2 sports-related questions. I have a life choice question.
Okay.
I have a vacation question. And I have a John Kincade specific discussion.
Ooh.
So you go first with the sports.
Okay.
Let's get the sports out.
Okay, let's do it.
That's what the people care about, right?
Okay, let's do Eagles first.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any concern or worry over the fact is, look at the Eagles' defensive depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the leaders?
What do you mean?
Play it in your head. Play it off your head.
Leadership-wise.
Who's leading? Who leads the Eagles' defense?
Well, Dean when he's on the field.
Dean's only a third-year player, and he hasn't played. What has he played? 17.
Yeah, but he's the
games?
green dot guy. And who's on the defense with him? Georgia Bulldog, Jalen Carter. Georgia Bulldog, Jordan Davis.
Jalen Carter going into his 3rd year.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis going into his 4th year.
Nolan Smith.
Who's the Nolan Smith going into his 3rd year?
Nakobe Dean has already the connection with those players. He was the green dot guy in college.
No, I got you. But the leader on the defense, though, notoriously, first of all, you have to have played a hell of a lot more games than Nakobe Dean has played. You then have to also be a guy who is a bit of a veteran, a little longer in the tooth. I mean, I have a mild concern that this Eagles defense is too young, too fast.
See, the reason why I'm not worried about it is because all those Georgia kids, not only do they have that connection, they've had success in college. They've now had the ultimate success in the NFL, so they've lived it. Like, you don't have to bring in like that greasy vet that he won the Super Bowl, so let's bring him in so that he could teach the young guys.
Why do they have to be greasy? I mean, like, why?
But it's amazing. Like, these guys have already won. They've already been to the mountaintop, so I can see them being their own leadership group, and it continues. Even though I will say this, Darius Slay, everyone hates Darius Slay nowadays. I roll my eyes at it.
That's ridiculous.
He did give Reed Blankenship the big stamp of approval as the leadership council guy. So I'd imagine that it could be Reed Blankenship.
It's not a bad answer. Not a bad answer. It's a mild concern of mine. I'm hoping that when Howie starts to pick the scrap heap a bit, and I'm not trying to demean the players that'll be picked up, but that they're going to get some guys that are.
What does a Zach Cunningham do for you? Just because he's older?
Well, I don't know about Zach Cunningham, but
I'm just
talking about. I want somebody who's had a little more experience in the NFL to just be around in that room.
Okay.
Because they benefited from it. Number 2 today, what is your number 1 concern with the 2025 Philadelphia Phillies? You will be heading down to spring training all next week. You're going to be there. We're going to talk to you every morning after you've woken up from your stupor. Mm-hmm. What is your number 1 concern? Because you're not Connor.
No, I'm not Connor.
But you do tend to be a little bit pie in the sky when it comes to the Phillies.
No,
a little bit.
Because they're talented, and I believe in I believe in talent.
They're very talented. No one's going to argue that.
I will go with health.
Explain.
Your best player is Bryce Harper, who is banged up often.
All the time.
Your starting catcher, that's a position where you get banged up, period, but he's getting a little bit longer in the tooth, and he's been dealing with injuries recently. I know everybody through a course of 162 games gets banged up, but those are 2 important players on your team that are banged up. Nick Castellanos has played a lot of baseball over the last couple of years, so that could be something where you worry about wear and tear. The Phillies have been very, very beneficial with Zach Wheeler's health for the most part. I know he's had that stint 2 years ago where he took some time off, or 3 years ago. Nola doesn't miss a beat. What happens when he does? Like, there could be a time when Aaron Nola, we've never seen it before.
Well, if this rotation is not the best in baseball, it may be the best. Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely in that conversation. If one of those guys goes down, I'm not worried that they're going to have this giant cliff they're going to fall off.
But here's the deal.
But Wheeler is so dominant.
You pitched deep into October in 2022. deep into October
right.
in 2023.
And last year you were out playing golf early.
But they've played a lot of baseball over the last 3 years. That's a lot of innings that these guys have eaten up. You already saw it. Matt Strahm, 2 years ago, when Strahm was brought in as a long reliever, for whatever reason, I forget what the story was. He ended up having to start. And remember, he reached his innings that he pitched the previous year.
He started early in the year.
In like May.
Yes.
And now look at what's going on with him now. He's already dealing in spring training with shoulder inflammation.
As I said to you, with the shoulder problems with Strahm, at least he doesn't wash his hair.
So I'll go
it won't be a big deal because he doesn't lift his hands over his head.
go with health because like they're talented. Okay. They're talented. They're not going to win 80 games. They're going to win 88 to 95 games, and then we'll see what happens come playoff time.
I need you to tighten up that range by the time you get back from Clearwater. That's sort of Colarulo-ish.
Well, that's when I get my information.
You're sitting on a fence.
That's when I get my information.
Okay, do it.
All right. What about you? Do you have a concern?
I do have a concern.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is the manager.
Okay.
My concern is the manager's rudderless approach to demanding what's going to be done instead of running everything up a player flagpole and letting them decide.
Rudderless to 92 wins.
That's great talent. They're all with the second highest payroll in baseball. First of all, you better be talented and you better put up 90 wins.
All right.
You're spending that.
Question number 3
yes.
I have for you.
You get feisty with me.
You are supremely talented John Kincade athlete in college.
I really am? You didn't
you were that, right? You were.
No.
No?
No.
Oh,
they always say, those who can, those who can't coach.
Yes.
So that's why I went to
those
coaching.
Who can't coach, talk on radio.
There you go.
You're a great athlete, right?
Okay, in college.
But you're still under the radar from professional programs,
absolutely.
right? Professional level.
I'm in college where? Oh, this one. No, I mean I'm in college. How old am I? Am I sophomore, junior, whatever?
You're either going into your freshman year
or
you're a freshman going into the transfer portal.
Okay, good. All right.
Are you going to take the bag with the best NIL deal, or are you going to the bigger program where you get more recognition?
Bag with the biggest NIL check. No questions asked because I want to learn and be around the best athletes in the business. So the best kids playing at the best level, even if I'm not their caliber, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that practice squad. I want to be a part of that scout team. I want to learn from the best in the business. I don't want to go some Scrabini school.
No, but what I'm saying is, what if I guess I should have specified.
Because if I'm way under the radar, at a big program like that, they have more coaches, bigger staffs. You're going to have a chance to grab somebody's eye. And so I would say, I'm going to have a chance there, and then maybe off of that roster, then I would join.
Okay. Well, all right, you can either play, you're the backup corner at Alabama, or you're the starting corner at Akron, but you're getting a lot of money.
Backup corner at Bama, sign me up.
Yeah, but you just said you take the bag.
No, that's what you're going to get at Bama.
No, my question, question is, you get. Here, you can go to these two schools.
Oh, I thought you were telling me
a lot of money at this school, or you get the recognition at this school. Because you got to think about down the road, like you just said. So you would go the Bama route.
Oh, I would.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, nobody at Akron's getting the bag that someone gets at Bama.
It's a very theoretical question.
Well, it's a nonsense question.
But imagine you're 18 years old, and you're like, who was that kid that got offered money at UNLV, and then they never paid up? He's the quarterback, and he left.
Quarterback kid, and he left.
But he picked UNLV over other programs because of the money.
Like the Texas A&M kids are getting $50,000.
Yeah,
$50,000 to be on the roster. You go to Georgia and those schools, they're getting crushed. I mean, they're making tons.
Of course.
What's that McLaren car or whatever Carson Beck had at Georgia? He's driving a $200,000.
So you go with the bigger program before.
Yes, always go to the bigger program.
Right.
I don't want to be a Connor Thomas.
We've two topics left. What is the biggest or some of the biggest differences in vacation, pre-parenthood, post-parenthood? Because Christy and I have already talked about, man, we can't get banged up at 2:00 in the afternoon because we got to take care of our little one. This is our first vacation where we're not going to have any helping hands. Lithuania, we had my parents were there, my sister was there, so we had aunts, uncles, we had grandparents. This is just the three of us.
Christina and I getting married at 36 and 35 and becoming parents at 37 and 36, 38 and 36, 38 and 37 was a different situation. we never had helpers.
Right.
Because our dads were dead, our moms were older, and we were never going to leave our kid with a 85-year-old mom or 84-year-old mom, whatever. Right. We weren't going to do that. So we never had it. I can just tell you this, and hopefully Liv's not watching. The last 2 years, spring break, we have gone on a beach vacation. Punta Cana last year, Jamaica this year. It is the greatest thing for a marriage and vacation's different. Because we did exactly what we wanted to do, not catering to a kid, not catering to wanting to do something great with your child. We did what we wanted to do, and every day, no later than 10 o'clock, I had my first margarita.
Yeah.
And I never do that.
Yeah, I gotta be careful.
I'm not a day drinker at home. You put me in an all-inclusive?
Yeah, dude, you got to.
Dude, I'm the other day I did say in the pool at one point, I said, I think I'd like to have a second margarita. And Christina said, a third?
Yeah.
I hadn't realized.
We're trying to do like the one nice dinner out with the three of us. But like I know how it's going to go. Cooper's going to be like, are we done yet? And it's like,
oh, it's tough. I'm telling you, avoid that. Watson's, we were at Watson's Marion Inn, the old place in Cape May.
Yeah.
With Olivia as a baby.
I know, yeah.
And Olivia got fussy and just didn't want to be
trying
there.
to have a nice meal.
It's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go to the Ugly Mug.
I'm very excited though. All right, last one. John has made me smell his clothing today because of his new detergent.
Dylan, would you like to smell my clothing? You can if you'd like. It still smells great. I've worn this 3 times.
You are the person that finds a product and tells the world about it.
Oh my gosh.
You are. And I love that because now I'm interested.
Well, Buff City Soap is the company.
He's open for an endorsement.
It's called Buff City Soap. They have a store on Concord Pike.
Okay.
And right down near David Dodge. And I found that they have a store. I'm telling you, it will change your life as far as your clothing when it's clean. Christina, we got it as a gift from somebody, as a hostess gift for somebody staying at our home.
Yeah.
They brought this and they brought something else.
So kind.
And then Christina started just using it on the towels. The first time she used it on the towel, I came out of the shower and I went, what's with the towels? They smell perfect. I'm like telling you, Buff City Soap, and you can find it on the web.
What are some products that you remember, like over the years, where you were like, I got to tell the world about it? Because I've heard you talk about Buff City Soaps 8 times. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
I had the very first, when I started, when I left the business world to become a radio host and to become a TV broadcaster and radio broadcaster for the Atlanta Thrashers. The stadium that was built in Atlanta was Phillips Arena. Philips, the company, created the first digital DVR. It was called TiVo.
Yeah.
You'll hear some people still use the term TiVo.
Right.
Now, digital DVR, you don't even need it. It's simple. Everybody's got it.
I have Hulu Live. I can record.
But back in 1998, nobody had a digital DVR.
Oh, so you were telling everybody.
And I got a TiVo at the grand opening of the stadium.
That's awesome.
First edition. Everybody would come over to the house and have to see what it was. It was freaking unbelievable.
Come here. I gotta see the TiVo.
Gotta check the TiVo.
I can see you doing it.
Gotta do the TiVo. So TiVo was the one that I just blew my mind away. Plus, I was a 1996 customer in Atlanta of DirecTV.
Oh my God.
When DirecTV was a nothing.
Yeah.
I still have, and this is why T-Mobile should advertise with me. My phone is a T-Mobile phone. But we are on a pricing plan that exists pre-T-Mobile from when I was with a company called PowerTel.
Okay.
That T-Mobile changed, like either 8up or whatever.
So you were grandfathered
in? So I'm grandfathered in. I have a pricing plan on my phone from 1999.
Jeez.
So PowerTel, T-Mobile, like things like that. Like I had stuff before it was a little.
All right, I got a follow-up question. Sorry, Dylan. Now I'm amazed, right? This is where this is why we do post-show headlines.
Yes.
Because we get to talk about things that we don't talk about in the air.
Yeah, we talk about this on the air. Mass Stellar Fires.
Did you ever buy an As Seen on TV product? Because I bought it was a burger thing. I forget it was called Smash or Smush. You get instead of you're not buying a Bubba burger.
I bought the Foreman.
No, not the Foreman.
But that was a TV infomercial.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And I loved the Foreman grill when I was single. The Foreman grill
was awesome.
I would have buy the chicken breasts, break them into individual bags, put them in individual bags.
Yeah.
I'd come in. I was a much different size. I would put one grilled chicken breast in, grill that baby. Well, it was awesome. I love the George Foreman grill. I bought the ShamWow.
Oh my God, you were a ShamWow guy?
Yes, we bought the Scrub Daddies. We are Scrub Daddy family. We get the Scrub Daddies now at Costco. And I'm telling you, the Scrub Daddy is freaking awesome. The Mr. Clean erasers, I don't think it counts as that. They're the best.
No, they're the best. But they're not as so.
What about you?
There was a burger thing where you bought the actual red meat. So you didn't buy like a frozen patty.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Meat. You put it in this device, and then you push it down with this thing.
So it made a smash burger?
No, it made a little hole, and then you could put stuff that fills the burger.
You know you can do that yourself.
Yeah, but this made it easier, John.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, I'm just wondering. You're the chef here.
And it was like $5.99.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
really?
Awesome. My mother-in-law got it for me for Christmas.
By the way, if you go to the outlet mall at the Philadelphia Outlet Mall.
Yeah.
So it's the one up in above Royersford.
What, they have an As Seen on TV store?
Yes. Yeah. And it's gigantic. So every single thing you've ever seen on a TV infomercial is in this store. And I swear, Christina goes every time, don't buy anything.
If you watched this, and thank you, like, subscribe, everything, comment. I want to see what things people bought with the As Seen on TV things, because there's a million of them.
Oh, there are.
Copper pots, slap chops.
Slap chop? Oh, that's a good one.
The Brett Favre copper.
Oh, no.
Copper
you kidding
pants.
me? He was probably stealing from senior citizens with disabilities to get those copper bands.
We have another show before we hit the weekend, before I go down to Florida. Everybody, we
by the way,
appreciate you.
Friday special, I didn't tell Andrew off air. I'm telling him now. I have 5 questions from people who've watched and submitted when we asked for questions.
Oh, damn.
I found out from checking my DMs late that I have like 19 of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I apologize to those of you who have sent in a question.
So we have a special post-show headline.
So tomorrow is 5, and they are all over the place.
So what you're saying is we did none of the work tomorrow.
No, but I mean, we've been asking people. We said it when we first started doing this, and then I'm like, oh, God, I have DMs that I didn't answer.
Right.
So I apologize for that.
We'll do that tomorrow. This is the longest post-show headlines ever. Sorry, Dylan. Talk to you tomorrow.